Now we are being asked what weights identify the middle 80% of newborn baby weights. We'll have to do a little drawing to get this one. If you're being asked about the middle 80%, what we'll do is cut part off the left and part off the right. In the middle, we'll write 80%. So we're taking 100% of the bell curve and then cutting out 80. And this 80% will be located in the middle. So we'll say 100%, subtract 80% would give us 20% left over. And those 20% are going to go into the left side and the right side. Now this 20% will be divided evenly between the left and the right. So we will cut it in half by dividing by 2. So 20% divided by 2 would give us 10%. In the left-hand piece of this graph, we have 10% of the results. And then on the right side, we also have 10%. Now, in order to find the probabilities to use in this problem, we're going to first look at the first marker. This first marker has only 10% to the left of it. We'll label that with an A. So marker A has 10% to the left, and so we'll let our probability of being less be 10%. Now, let's look to the other mark, which I'm going to paint blue. We'll label that as mark B. Now, mark B has 2 percentages to the left, 10% and 80%. So, take 10 plus 80 to get our P less. 10 plus 80 would give us 90%. We have not one probability, but 2. Now, we might have to ask the question, do we use norm dist or norm inverse? So let's recall, in order to use norm dist, you need to know an x value. And to use norm inverse, we need a probability. If we reread the question, we do have a mean, and we do have a standard deviation, but the question does not give us an x value, but instead a percentage. So, since we know the probabilities but not the x value, we would use norm inverse. Now, to use norm inverse, we'll have to say equals norm.inv. We'll put our probability, then our mean, and then our standard deviation. And probability must be the probability of being less. P less only, P greater will not work. Now, we'll enter these into Excel. We'll have P less, we'll have a mean, and we'll have a standard deviation. We'll need to make a little more room for it. Our probabilities were 10%. You can also say 0.10, and that will work, and 90%. Our mean was 3,420. And our standard deviation was 495. Both of these are given in the first line. Now, to get our x value, we'll use norm inverse, Click the probability, comma, the mean, comma, the standard deviation. There is no need to say true here. And we get 2,785.632. Use the black cross and move it to the right to calculate the x value for the other cutoff. So we can say that the low value cutoff was 2,785.632. Let's use Excel to round this by going to Home and reducing decimal in the number section. So on our picture, our first x value is 2,786. So mark A, we can say the low cutoff is 2,786. Our higher cutoff is 4,054. We'll put that next to mark B. Those would be the weights that identify the middle 80%. We must give the lower cutoff and the higher cutoff. We'll have to give both mark A and mark B as our answers.